Welcome! If you're passionate about understanding how your body actually works and you love the hard science behind a healthier life, well, you are in exactly the right place. In today's explainer, we're going to reveal a completely ignored organ in the weight loss conversation. I mean, everyone talks about calories, carbs, and cardio, but almost nobody mentions this. Okay, let's dive into this.
We've all been there, right? Or at least we know someone who has. You cut your calories, you slash your sugar, your macro balance is absolutely perfect, and you're working out constantly. Yet, the scale totally refuses to budge, and that stubborn belly fat just won't drop. It is incredibly frustrating. It honestly feels like your metabolism is just completely broken. But what if I told you the problem isn't your willpower, it's not your diet plan either. The problem is that you are focusing on the entirely wrong part of the machine.
Yep, the answer lies in your liver. The liver is basically the ultimate metabolic switch in your body. It's the single organ that dictates whether the calories you eat are instantly converted into usable energy or if they're packed away as stored body fat. If your liver isn't functioning at its absolute peak, literally every other diet strategy you try is going to be an endless uphill battle.
To really understand why, check out this number. 500 plus. Your liver is essentially an overworked factory, pulling off over 500 different, essential daily tasks. It stabilizes your blood sugar, it manages your hormones, and it filters out an absolute avalanche of toxins from your bloodstream every single day. So when we talk about fat burning, the liver's role simply outranks everything else.
And this brilliantly illustrates exactly what's going on. Think of a healthy liver as a master traffic controller. Every single time you eat, it stands right at the intersection of your metabolism and makes a choice, which nutrients to burn for fuel right now, which to store for later, and which to detoxify and get rid of. When your liver is healthy, this is completely smooth. Sugars are used, fat is burned, toxins are filtered out. Fat loss just happens naturally. But in our modern world, we are surrounded by so many toxins, from ultra-processed foods and hidden sugars to microplastics and medications, that the liver gets completely overwhelmed. It basically abandons fat burning just to keep you alive.
All right, Section 1, the overworked factory. 4 enemies destroying your liver.
So if your liver is constantly under attack, it gets stuck in this emergency survival mode, where fat loss is literally at the absolute bottom of its priority list. We have to stop those attacks first. And the first enemy on your plate is refined carbohydrates and specific sugars. Now, we already know high insulin stops fat burning, but think about the direct impact on the liver here. Table sugar and refined carbs break down into glucose and fructose. Glucose is great. Your muscles and brain can use it directly for energy, no problem. But fructose? Fructose can only be processed by the liver. When you flood your system with fructose all day long, from sodas, baked goods, or even high fructose fruits like bananas and mangoes, your liver just maxes out its capacity. Its only option is to convert that excess fructose directly into stored belly fat.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the second enemy is probably hiding right inside your quote-unquote healthy food. We're talking about oxidized, old industrial seed oils, stuff like canola, soybean, and corn oil. Unlike sugar, which stresses the liver in the moment, these oils cause long-term structural damage. Because they're extracted using super high heat and harsh chemicals, they're actually already degraded before you even eat them. Your liver treats them as a direct toxin, and they are everywhere. Restaurant fryers, protein bars, and yes, even expensive vegan and keto-friendly packaged snacks.
The primary component of these toxic oils is linoleic acid. And here is the absolute most shocking part of the data. Linoleic acid isn't burned off quickly like sugar is. It is physically built right into your body fat and your cell membranes, and research shows it can stay trapped inside your body for years. That means even if you stop eating these oils today, the lingering linoleic acid in your cells is going to continue sabotaging your liver function and your fat loss in the background for years to come. Crazy, right?
Okay, enemy number 3, artificial additives, specifically sweeteners like sucralose. Sucralose isn't just sweet, it's actually a chlorinated chemical. Because your body doesn't recognize it as food, your liver treats it as a high-priority toxin. Think of sucralose as the ultimate queue jumper. It literally cuts to the very front of the detox line. Your liver drops all its other vital functions, including fat burning, just to deal with this one chemical. Meanwhile, all the other toxins in your body just back up and accumulate. This is exactly why so many people switch to diet products and then suddenly hit a massive weight loss plateau.
The final enemy is one that confuses a lot of people:
toxic? Protein. Yes, protein is totally essential for maintaining muscle and metabolism, for sure. But quality is everything. You aren't just what you eat, you're what you ate. Factory-farmed meats, processed cold cuts, bacon, and farmed fish are just loaded with pesticides, antibiotics, and preservatives. When you eat them, all those toxic compounds get delivered straight to your liver. Plus, even a lot of popular protein powders are loaded with sucralose, so you're hitting your liver with a double whammy.
Let's move to and see how this builds. Section 2. Phase 1. Foods that recover the liver.
So once we finally cut out those four enemies, the fructose overloads, the seed oils, artificial sweeteners, and toxic proteins, the liver finally has some space to breathe. Step 1 of your daily recovery protocol is to load up on cruciferous veggies like broccoli and cabbage. Their fiber really slows down sugar absorption, which stops insulin spikes, while their sulfur compounds actually help the liver bind to toxins and just flush them right out. Step 2, leafy greens like spinach and arugula. These act like internal cleaners, stimulating your body's production of glutathione, which is your master detox antioxidant. And step 3, start your day with morning lemon water. After fasting all night long, that lemon water signals your liver to kickstart bile flow, which is absolutely crucial for digesting fats and sweeping out the remaining toxins.
Section 3. Phase 2. Supplements supporting detox.
Food is absolutely the foundation, but to truly clear the massive backlog in your overworked factory, we need to understand that detoxing happens in 3 strict consecutive phases. If a single phase fails, or if it lacks the right nutrients, the entire assembly line just grinds to a halt, and those toxins get reabsorbed. That's exactly why the source identifies a detox trio that perfectly supports this process. First up is NAC. Since our bodies don't easily absorb raw glutathione, NAC steps in to provide the exact amino acid building blocks your body needs to manufacture it internally. Second is milk thistle, which acts like a protective shield for your liver cells against the heavy oxidative stress that naturally happens during the detox process. And finally, turmeric steps in to drastically reduce liver inflammation. Lower inflammation means better insulin sensitivity, and better insulin sensitivity is what unlocks that stored body fat.
Section 4. The cheat code. Erasing stored fat.
Okay, if you apply what we've covered so far, your liver is going to begin to heal and your fat loss will naturally start to accelerate. But remember that massive roadblock we talked about earlier? That tricky linoleic acid trap? If you rely on nature alone, you're going to be waiting years for that metabolic anchor to lift and leave your body. Fortunately, you don't actually have to wait years. There's a scientifically backed biological cheat code to bypass the waiting game and actively flush out years of toxic, stored fat super quickly. It's known as the lipid turnover effect, and it requires 2 specific steps done together. First, you implement short, controlled periods of fasting. Fasting forces your body to tap into stored fat for energy, causing your cells to finally release that stubborn linoleic acid straight into your bloodstream. But honestly, that's only half the battle. Step 2 is providing EPA, a very specific type of omega-3, at that exact moment. See, because EPA is your body's absolute favorite building block for cell walls, when the toxic fat finally leaves, your body eagerly grabs the EPA to rebuild the cell membrane healthier and stronger than before. So the crucial point is, neither of these works on its own. Researchers tested this exact mechanism and the results were clear. If you just change your diet, you see almost 0 rapid reduction in stored linoleic acid. But when participants combined short, intentional fasting with EPA supplementation, they saw a massive 24% reduction in linoleic acid levels right in their cell membranes. The fasting pushes the bad fat out, and the EPA steps in and prevents it from coming back. You absolutely must have both to flip the switch. And honestly, the most astonishing part of this whole research, that 24% drop didn't take years. It didn't even take months. It happened in just 13 days. Let that sink in. In less than 2 weeks, participants were able to clear out nearly a quarter of the toxic, metabolic-blocking fat that normally takes years for the body to naturally process. It is just an incredible testament to how incredibly fast the human body can heal when you finally give the liver exactly what it needs. And finally, as your liver really comes back online, we have to touch on movement quickly. Please hear this. You do not need to spend 4 hours a day exhausting yourself with endless cardio. In fact, overtraining can stress your body out and completely backfire. The real goal here is simply to send the right hormonal signals to protect your muscle mass and keep your newly repaired metabolism firing on all cylinders. Literally just 10 minutes of intentional daily movement is all it takes to complete the puzzle.
So we've uncovered the true master traffic controller of your metabolism. It's not about starving yourself. It is entirely about stopping the daily chemical attacks, giving your liver the exact nutrients it needs to detox, and actively flushing out years of cellular damage. So as we wrap up this explainer today, I want to leave you with this one question to think about. Will you keep counting every single calorie while your internal factory remains clogged and overwhelmed? Or are you ready to finally heal your liver and let your body do exactly what it was naturally designed to do?